USC at Michigan. Another big game in the big house. Will this end up like Texas? And will this really derail the Michigan season? Or will they have a little bit of a bounce back and show that they have some life and be a contender in the Big Ten? We'll see. So let's take a look at the game here. So for Michigan, they've decided to bench Davis Warren and go with Alex Orji. That was their hope to start the season, that Alex Orji would be the guy and he'd take over for the offense. But he just didn't have a good fall camp and didn't have a good spring. But I think now, hopefully, that he'll be able to shine and be a good quarterback in this system, because I think the offense that he's in and the pieces that they have available on that offense, Alex Orji is the better candidate to run that offense. He just can't really throw. So he's got a big arm, but really not all that accurate, and is kind of turnover prone with his arm. But he's a dual threat guy. He more so he's a running guy. He's definitely a threat on the ground. And I think now that Jerome Moore has said, okay, you're our guy, you're our starting quarterback. I think they're going to have more of an identity on offense, and they're going to be able to run the ball and do what they like to do best and control the tempo of the game. So I think that's good news for Michigan, good and bad. Like, obviously you're going with a guy that you couldn't trust preseason and in fall camp, but I do think that now puts them in a place where they can look at one playbook instead of having to look at one for Alex Orji and Davis Warren and decide what the play is based on the quarterback. I think you can be steady now. I think Khalil Mullings will be. I think their 1-2 tandem at running back right now is really good, and Donovan Edwards is like almost the second guy now, which is actually kind of crazy. Going into the season, no one really thought that, but so the running back room for Michigan will be good, and I think I still have some questions about USC, and a lot of it I think is stemming from what I think LSU is. And so USC beat LSU to start the season, and that was a big win. I predicted USC to do that. I thought USC would cover, because I'm just really not high on LSU, but I think I'm a little lower on LSU after witnessing what they've done against Nichols and South Carolina. I know they came out with a win, but probably really shouldn't have. And so I think now, defensively, Michigan is going to be a better test than what LSU was able to put against USC. So how's USC going to be able to move the ball against this Michigan defense? I think, look, the blueprint has already been written, right? If you can really beat them up front, beat Michigan up front, and open up the passing game, you can put points on this defense, because Will Johnson is All-American. He's elite, but the rest of that secondary isn't all that impressive. So if you're able to have a pretty balanced offense and beat Michigan deep and through the air, which USC has the athletes and the dudes to do that, you can come in and get a victory here. Texas wrote that blueprint. So if you follow that, you can get this win, which would be a huge win for USC. I'm just not convinced that USC is there to do that, because while Texas has the dudes up front that could really block and push against Michigan, I'm not convinced USC has those guys. So I think this could be a little bit of a slugfest. Really excited and interested to see how this game goes. I do think USC's defense has improved since last year. I'm still a little, waiting to see how improved it has been. So this is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to this conference game. We'll see what happens on Saturday. Follow Big Body Ball CFB on all socials.